Have you ever wondered why, no matter where you go in the world, everyone seems to accept the US dollar? From buying coffee in Paris to paying for a hotel in Tokyo, somehow the green note rules everything. The strange part is, countries are free to use any currency they want. So why is the US dollar everywhere? And what makes the dollar so powerful? Today, we are diving deep into the secret story of the US dollar and how it silently runs the world's economy. And trust me, by the end of this video, you will never look at money the same way again. First, let's clarify what it really means for a currency to dominate the world. It does not mean everyone is paid in dollars. It means most international trade, loans, and reserves use the US dollar. For example, if a country buys oil, it usually pays in dollars. Or if a country wants to borrow money from other countries, it often borrows in dollars. Even countries like China and Japan keep huge amounts of US dollars in their banks as a safety net. Basically, the dollar is like the global default currency that everyone trusts it more than their own. So how did the US dollar become the king of money? The story goes back to 1944, to a famous meeting called the Bretton Woods Conference. World War II had just ended, and the global economy was a complete mess. Countries needed one stable system to trade, or everything would fall apart. And at that moment, one country stood above the rest: the United States. At that time, the US had the largest economy in the world, most of the world's gold, factories and resources untouched by the war. So the world made a powerful deal. Other countries linked their money to the US dollar, and the US dollar was backed by gold. That single decision changed history. Suddenly, the dollar became the safest and most trusted money on earth. People saved it. Countries traded with it. Everyone relied on it. Then in 1971, the US removed gold backing from the dollar. Many expected the dollar to collapse, but it didn't. Why? Because by then, the entire world was already using it, and there was no better option. That's how the US dollar didn't just survive. It became the most powerful currency in the world. Even after all these years, one big question remains. Why does the world still trust the US dollar? Here are the real reasons. First, the size of the US economy. The United States still has the largest and one of the most stable economies on earth. When money is backed by a strong economy, people feel safe using it. Second, global trade. Most of the world's most important things, like oil, gas, and major raw materials, are priced in US dollars. So if a country wants to trade with the world, it needs dollars. Third, power and stability. The US has a strong government and the most powerful military in the world. That power protects trade routes, banks, and global systems, which makes the dollar feel safer than most other currencies. And finally, the network effect. This one is simple. Everyone uses the dollar because everyone else already does. Switching to another currency would be risky, expensive, and chaotic. So countries stick with what the world already trusts. That's why even today, the US dollar remains at the center of the global economy. Now, a big question people keep asking is, can the US dollar ever lose its power? After all, the world is changing. China has the yuan, Europe has the euro, and cryptocurrencies are growing faster than ever. So, could one of these replace the dollar? Here's the reality. Replacing the dollar is extremely hard. It's not just about having a strong currency. Countries need trust, long-term stability, and a massive global network. And right now, most countries already depend on the dollar for trade, savings, and global deals. Switching away from it would be risky and expensive. That's why, for now, the US dollar will likely stay king. But behind the scenes, something interesting is happening. Countries are slowly preparing, buying gold, using local currencies for some trades, and exploring digital money. So the dollar isn't falling today, but the world is quietly getting ready for a future with more choices. So why does the US dollar dominate the world? It's not because of one single reason. It's a powerful mix of history, trust, economic strength, and global habits built over decades. The US dollar is not just money you spend. It's a tool that quietly shapes global trade, prices, and even entire economies, for better or for worse. So the next time you hear about money printing, inflation, or global trade wars, you will understand why the US dollar matters far more than most people realize.
If you like this video and love to see more like this, hit that subscribe button now.